The August numbers are in for the Portland residential real estate market, and sale prices are down for the second month in a row, but it's not all gloom and doom for homeowners in the metro area. Let's get into the numbers. Hi everyone, RRMilligan here, bringing you the very latest in our local real estate stats and trends. Market sample I've been working with for several years now is for the full Portland metro area, including Southwest Washington. As I love to say, all real estate is local, so some areas and neighborhoods are doing better than others. If you'd like to know what's going on in a specific area, just shoot me an email or post your question in the comment section right here. As I mentioned at the top of the video, sale prices are down for the month of August, but they seem to be gaining a little steam, at least for the last couple of weeks now. We're seeing improvements in our prices for the year-over-year numbers. The average sale price for August 2025 was down about 0.4% compared to August 2024. But if you remember at the start of the month, sale prices were lower than 2024's numbers by more than 3%. So they've recovered a little bit of ground since the start of the month, even though we still ended up in the red. In a more typical Portland market, it is normal to see prices declining at this time of year, so it's not a huge surprise that the average sale price this past week was down about 1% compared to the previous week. In our year-over-year comparison, prices managed to land about 1.1% higher than last year at this time. But bear in mind that if you consider the rate of inflation that we have right now, sale prices are still in the red, but inching up, at least for now. Now on to supply and demand. The supply numbers, the number of homes that buyers had to choose from, really dropped off this past week, continuing a trend that we've been watching for a few weeks now. Throughout most of 2025, buyers have had about 33% more homes to choose from, plus or minus, compared to 2024. That difference dropped to about 25% more just a few weeks ago, and this last week that number dropped again to just a little bit more than 21% more. I think part of the reason that we're seeing this declining inventory is that sellers are pulling their homes off the market at a faster rate than they were last year at this time. But I also think it's partly due to the fairly steady buyer demand that's been outpacing last year's demand for about 9 weeks straight now. Last week, the number of purchase contracts agreed to by buyers and sellers came in almost 20% higher than what we saw during the same week last year. On to mortgage rates. Mortgage rates on Thursday landed just about where they were last Friday. I saw the 30-year fixed advertised for 6.125% with one discount point, best case scenario. Just like last week though, the yield on the 10-year treasury, one of our best indicators of where mortgages are headed, that was moving lower on Thursday, so we might see a slight improvement in mortgage rates by Friday morning as well. We seem to be closing in on 6% for the 30-year fixed, which in the past has been a bit of a magic number for our market here in Portland. Every time interest rates, at least in the last few years, have dropped below 6% for the 30-year fixed, our market starts to get a little energized. Given that we haven't seen 6% for quite a while now, I'm really curious to see if that still holds true. As always, if there is a significant change in mortgage rates as we head into the weekend, I will post a note in the comment section here. Just like last week, the days on market keeps moving up, so the number of days that a home spends on the market before receiving an acceptable offer, that's still on the rise, and that is pretty typical for this time of year. We did see a bit of a reprieve on the number of price reductions this past week, but based on the activity that I've been seeing on the market this week, I suspect that we'll see a notable jump in price reductions when we meet again here next Friday to run through the numbers again. So to sum it up, for the week of August 25th through the 31st, prices are continuing to trend up compared to last year. Supply is falling, demand is holding steady and still outpacing last year's demand, and mortgage rates were flat once again. And there you have it, the biggest trends that we're watching in Portland residential real estate. Thank you so much for joining me this week. I hope that you got something informative out of the report. Have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you right here next week.